Turning our attention now to the ASX, here's Matt Birney and Bulls and Bears with the latest public company views and interviews.
Welcome to Bulls and Bears, brought to you today by anti-cancer drug developer Noxopharm, ASX code NOX. I'm Matt Birney and I'm joined now by the Managing Director of Noxopharm, Dr. Graham Kelly. Hi Graham.
Hello, Matt.
Noxopharm has been developing its own unique cancer-fighting drug known as Vyondra. Rather than being a singular drug looking to treat a particular cancer, Vyondra is being developed to be used in parallel with other cancer treatments with a view to boosting the effectiveness of those treatments across a raft of cancers. This week, the company secured a milestone patent for the use of Vyondra. All right, Graham, we'll get into those patents in a minute, but firstly, just in plain English, what problem are you trying to solve with Vyondra?
Okay, well, I think most people would be aware that chemotherapy for cancer comes with a lot of side effects. We all know people who have had the treatment and their hair's fallen out, or they had diarrhea, or they're more susceptible to infections, and they're so common. Pretty much every cancer patient suffers some side effects. In about 60% of patients, those side effects can be managed, but in 40% they can't be managed properly, and that means you've got to either lower the dose of the chemo or stop it altogether. That has the disadvantage that you've now lost the benefit of the chemotherapy.
Okay, so how does Vyondra work? Where does Vyondra fit in?
It actually enhances, it makes the effectiveness of the other chemotherapy, the ability of that other chemotherapy drug to kill a cancer cell, it makes it more effective. So that means that you can back off the dose of the chemotherapy. So we can now use that other chemotherapy drug at a much lower dose. And that means that if you start your chemotherapy and then you find that you're reacting badly to it and you've got to back off the dose of the chemotherapy, by introducing Vyondra at that point, it means that that much lower dose of chemo is now going to provide the effect you want, but without the side effects. It also means that there's plenty of patients who are too ill at the start to even have chemotherapy, and others that are considered too elderly. And of course, there's a whole group of patients who just say, look, I'm not interested in chemotherapy, I've heard about the side effects. So all of these people, we believe, could benefit by having our drug given at the same time, and it means you can drop the dose of the other chemotherapy drug by about half.
Right, you managed to lock down some patents for Vyondra this week. What countries did you get those patents in and how long will they last for?
Okay, so the European Union, so that covers most of Western Europe and Australia, have granted it. Japan has already granted it. We're waiting on the United States. So, we're effectively covering off around about 80% of the world's pharmaceutical market by those patents. And having the patent is critically important because it means you've got 20 years exclusive use of this drug in that time.
Dr. Graham Kelly from Noxopharm, thanks for joining me on Bulls and Bears today. And remember, we're only here to give you information, not advice, which you should of course seek independently. I'm Matt Birney and this is Bulls and Bears.
For more public company CEO interviews, go to the Money page on the 6PR, 2GB and 3AW websites and click the Public Companies tab.